today, fellow cinema nerds and movie geeks of the internet. You're watching Deano Reviews. I just got back from seeing Suicide Squad. If you haven't guessed, by the way, I hope you like what I'm doing here. I mean, I had to turn the brightness down just for this camera to pick up on it, but I think, it's better than last time, because last time it was just a black screen, but now it actually has the wallpaper up there. I think it looks nice. I mean, most of the time my head is going to be in front of it, so it just says Suicide Squad is mirrored, but then I move my head and I'm like, oh, there they are, look at them, like a skull. There's a Joker up there, yeah, there you go. But I hope you like that, because I'll probably just be in this spot from now on, even though to do so I have to put my laptop on the edge of the bed, but who cares about that? We're talking about some Suicide Squad here. Now, before I talk about the film, I normally give my background on the film, like if it's a franchise, if I grew up with it, my thoughts on it before, if I've ever had a connection to it, and also what were my expectations for the film on the trailer and the such and such and there. Now, and also I have to bring in the fact, like, oh, if you don't like this, you hate DC. If you do, you like DC. I'm wishy-washy. Now, I growing up, I was a huge superhero nerd. I am a superhero nerd. I almost said herd, but no, I'm a nerd. But not those like stereotypical nerds with like the pocket protectors and the glasses. No, I don't even know what's the purpose of a pocket protector. That's just always been a stereotype for nerds in cartoons and TV shows. But regarding, pardon me, but growing up, I grew up on the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, on the cartoon, on the X-Men cartoons, and I also grew up like watching my volume 1 copy of Batman the Animated Series. I saw The Dark Knight in cinemas, and I was like 8, probably shouldn't have, because I just turned my head round and put my face in the seat where Two-Face showed up. And you wouldn't think that you would have thought the Joker, I'd find really scary. But weirdly enough, when seeing The Dark Knight in cinemas at that age, I mostly remember just being scared of when I saw Two-Face. It was a bit beyond me. But I also grew up watching, like, I can't remember what age, probably 12 or 13. I finally got to see Batman 1989 and Batman Returns. I remember watching the old 70s Superman. No, 80s Superman. No, it was 1970, late 70s. So I remember watching that old Christopher Reeve Superman at my nan's house for the first time, which were good times. Basically, just to let you know, I was a geek growing up. I still am a geek. I was a geek of Doctor Who. What else? I don't know, Action Man as well, if you remember that. But I was a big superhero geek then and one now. I'm not like hardcore in your face. I'm not a comic nerd. I have some comics. I've read superhero comics, but more movie wise and like cartoon wise growing up. So I'm not going to say casual, because I have Funko Pops of superheroes, and I have all the MCU films up there and a bunch of DC films, superhero films in general is what I'm saying. I got a copy of The Mask. You know The Mask? That's a good one. But just know, just to put that out there, superhero geek here. I'm a geek then, geek now, superhero geek. So whatever way you put it, I'm a superhero kind of guy, because I was all about that. But everyone is nowadays, because Marvel, DC, which is better? Let's fight about it. I don't think of that. Why did you punch him, man? You said he liked Batman more than Spider-Man, though I had to do it. But it's like that nowadays. But just know, well, everyone likes. It's so popular nowadays that almost everybody is. It's hard to meet someone who goes like, "Hey, what did you think of Civil War? You mean back in the history books? No, the other Civil War. It's gotten darker." I just noticed that. It doesn't matter, but I know it looks nice. Can you still see it? Yeah, you can still see it. That doesn't matter. I'm talking about Suicide Squad. But so yes, superhero geek, Marvel, DC. Yes, I'm all about the movies recently, but I like a lot of DC characters, DC things. But who really cares? Because we're in the golden age of being a nerd, of like Doctor Who and like being a nerd is mainstream, and all these superhero movies are fighting to give you good stuff, and you get to watch it, you get to be the one who enjoys it, and well, my laptop was freezing up there, sorry about that, and we get to enjoy it, so there's no purpose really fighting about it, because they're trying to give you entertainment, so I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. Yes, yes, there's going to be times where like that's not very good, but it's a good time overall. So my expectations for this movie, I thought the trailers were amazing. I was a bit off on the tone when like I believe the first trailer, it feels so long ago now, the first trailer was trying to make it really serious and dark and dramatic and like a thriller type of thing, and it ends with like the Joker I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna hurt you really with you know. But then like the other trailers would like had Queen and like Ballroom Blitz, and it was like really wacky and over the top and like insane, which I'm guessing is a good thing. It has Harley Quinn and she's pretty nutty, but so I was a bit confused on too. But I thought both of those trailers were amazing, especially the music and what they were showing. And now I've seen the actual movie, and oh my goodness, the response has been a bit scattered, a bit all over the board, a bit divisive, a bit divided, I should say. When watching this movie, no, not watching this. I mean, like when preparing, when I'm because when it came out, I watched a review by Chris Stuckman. He said he thought it was mediocre. Then I watched a review by Jeremy Johnson. He says it's awesome. And then I look at the Rotten Tomatoes. But why does it matter? Just a percentage. But still, people use that a lot to determine if a film is good or not. I use it quite a lot. And people say, oh, it's rigged. There's this, that. It's not. You can't rely on it. And people said it's good and bad. And critics said it was bad, but fans said it was good. But some fans said it was bad. And I had no idea. But now I've seen it, and I can't make up my mind. I'm not joking. As soon I saw when it ended, I turned and I saw my friend now. You said I was going to make a review of it, and I currently am. So shout out to you. It's good to see you. That sounded insincere. I am sincerely. But I was like, I don't know what to think. That was weird. Like even I saw some other friends that were walking down, yay or nay, and they were like, I don't know. I don't know either. I was just thinking, okay, it's not very good for this, but it's alright because it has this, but it's awesome, but then I'm thinking about the bad stuff, and how am I? I can't decide. I can't pinpoint. I'm between not very good, it's alright, and it's actually really good. Like, how... I know that doesn't make any sense. This rarely happens to me. Not because I'm being overforgiving, but there's literally stuff that I'm like, that's bad, but then you think about the good stuff, and then said, oh, it was alright then. But then you think about the good stuff, and like, oh, okay, that was really good though. But then you think about the bad stuff again. I don't know, but still, there's a good thing about this movie that has brought a lot of people my age together, because like, I have a feeling that no matter what screening I went to, what time, I would see someone I would recognise from my college or like from my secondary school, because like Deadpool, and due to pretty much everyone loving superheroes at the moment, well, not everyone, that's a lot of people love being into superheroes now, and it being very mainstream, and you could say, oh, I love Spider-Man with heart on your sleeve, and no one will judge you. Still, Spider-Man's pretty cool, but Spider-Man's not in this. I know he's not going to come out of nowhere. He's not going to steal, like, I don't know, Harley Quinn's bat. What a fanfic that would be. What a trailer edit that would be. Someone edit that. Don't know what I was doing with my hands then. Ooh, sparkly pixie dust. But see, I'm acting a bit kooky because they're kooky. Well, some of them are. I mean, you have to be kooky to call yourself Captain Boomerang. But I don't know exactly when his character was created, because, like, maybe it was around the time they gave the Flash, like, a time-travelling treadmill. It was like the Silver Age and the Golden Age and stuff like that. They got a bit wacky. I think Batman had, like, a zebra suit at some points. See, I've gathered information. I think I don't call myself an aficionado, but I know my fair share. But, anywho... But like I was saying, like Deadpool, this movie seems so, this not just, you know, like, oh, here's another superhero movie as an origin, or like this superhero is now against this one, is now a team one of characters we've seen before. Like Deadpool, this movie seemed very new and different, and a bit of a spin on superhero movies, like something we definitely haven't seen yet. And also because, again, everyone's crazy about superheroes now, but who isn't? Pretty cool. Me, I was crazy about it before you. You don't deserve to say you're a nerd. How dare you? But I hope people aren't like that. Can we just all enjoy it together? But some people on like comments on videos are a bit like that. But we're all having fun. So I think it's kind of guaranteed I'd recognise like at least one person no matter what screen I went to, because I think a lot of people were excited for this. And but now I've seen it, and now I'm gonna go into depth. And okay, where to start here? Let's start with some good things. Yeah, let's start with some good things. Now my favourite DC, not only my favourite DC villain, but probably my favourite comic book villain ever is the Joker. I mean, who isn't? Because you can't really say you're very special saying your favourite villain is the Joker, because a lot of people like the Joker, even though he's a psychotic a-hole, clown a-hole to be precise. And there's been so many interpretations of him, like the Batman 1989 and Mark Hamill and the Dark Knight. That when I saw the first picture, that notorious picture now of like a Jared Leto, just topless with that purple glove. I was iffy on it. I just didn't know what to think. Like, that's really odd. That's quite new. He just looks like he's like from a street gang. He got tattoos all over him, and I was one of the people that said, okay, it's a bit in your face, like damaged on your forehead. You pretty much say, I'm a bit crazy. That's my shtick. I'm damaged. I'm so deep. But weird. But I kind of started to warm up to it. Seeing those little bits from the trailer, I started to warm up to it and saying this could be new. And now, before seeing this movie, he was the thing I was most interested in, much looking forward to seeing. Not only just he looks so different. And if you're here for the Joker, he's not in it all that much. Almost every single review you've heard is right. He's not in it all that much. If you put it all together, probably less than 20 minutes. He's probably in like 3 scenes at least, and basically there's no reason he should really be in it. Like, apart from linking to Harley's backstory and kind of like, I don't know, interrupting the squad's doing their thing at like, I don't know, maybe 2 points. There's no reason he should be in it. And like many others from the trailers, I thought he was going to be the villain, like the main villain, even though against El Diablo shoots fire. I don't know if he could really stood a chance really. Well, a one-on-one. But from what I saw though, it seemed very interesting. I mean, some is going to not go. Some aren't going to like it. Some are going to find it too over the top, too in your face, or just say, oh no, he's ripping off Heath Ledger. But it's different mannerisms. His voice does seem a bit different, and appearance-wise, I don't think they're the same. But I do like the spin on it, because like the Joker's now like a mob boss, and I like that. That's I do find that very interesting. Like, who's your boss? Oh, he's this crazy clown dude covered in tattoos. And I have a few, and it's a pretty easy impression to do, because Mark Hamill, by the way, I absolutely adore Mark Hamill's Joker. Just he's not a live action Joker. It's probably my favourite Joker. His voice, not only, and also because I kind of grew up on the Arkham games as well. I played those a lot. Those were good times. I got a bit of nostalgia for Arkham Asylum, but it's a pretty easy impression to do. Oh, that chit chat's gonna get you hurt. Not even close. I apologise. Maybe it was. I need your feedback, guys. I'm preparing to become an impressionist. I'll be going on a world tour soon, so I need Suicide Squad. Keeps all about that. I go a bit off the rails, and I know, but I just try to, we're having a little chilled discussion with some yucks thrown in there. Okay, but I liked it. I like his interpretation from what I saw, and yes, I want to see more. Just from watching the trailer, like, I want to see more, and from the movie, I'm still like, I want to see more. So, and after watching Jeremy John's review, I hope with the solo Batman movie, and I hope they do it. Like, the Joker is the villain, because like after with my Batman v Superman thoughts, I did say I can't remember. I don't think I actually said, but like afterwards, I did like pretty much. I wish I said it, like put more emphasis on it. Batman was the best part of that movie. I loved that Batman. Not so keen on him murdering people left and right, but maybe when they give us a reason someday, I'll be completely down for it, even though it was really odd. And this Joker, well, I'm not going to say he's the best part of this movie, probably maybe because he's so different and new, and I just love me some Joker, and it's just really interesting. It'll be such a good, mixture, because like we've had so many Batmans and Jokers now. Adam West Joker, like just cheesy 60s Batman and Joker, and then we had Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson 1989 Batman and Joker, and then we had Heath Ledger and Christopher. Oh my gosh, I think Christopher, but the name of the guy who played Batman in The Dark Knight just completely fell out of my head. Christian Bale, back in there, just slipped my mind for a second, and Heath Ledger Joker. Now these two Batman and Jokers, and man, if you love this hero and villain, they've had the most different interpretations I've ever seen, like from throughout the years. It's quite amazing. Oh, and also, of course, like Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill Batman and Joker, but like live action wise. But this Joker is very interesting. But as for Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, I think she was the best person they could have got. I mean, sure there was a lot of other people like, oh, she could have been like a very good Harley Quinn, but choosing her, I think it was a very good choice, because she's a very good actress. And it's weird because I literally just saw on Legend of Tarzan, and now she's here just playing a wacky, nutty, crazy queen of crime. Queen of crime. Because like the Joker is like the clown prince of crime. So she's not really a clown really. But still, when you think of clown, you think of like the coloured afro and like round red nose. So the Joker doesn't really have that. Kind of knock off the imagine now, like this Joker now got tattoos, he's a mob boss, and he's really crazy, and he's dressed like a clown, and it like pans up and he has like a honky red nose, like, oh, that chip chat's gonna get you hurt, honk honk. Brilliant. But actually no, at one point he does go honka honka, which I thought was a bit too much, but still, imagine that he could have said that like honka honka, I'm crazy, take me seriously. But well, you can't really take this movie that seriously. I'm just going to say that right now. But with Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie did an excellent job. But she has, maybe this is to do with the reshoots that happened, because throughout most of this movie, she talks normally but has the mannerisms of Harley Quinn and said, "I'm known to be vexy. I'm just straight up warning you." But then at random points, she just turns all southern, and the only voice I can say she kind of sounds like, it's like if you ever seen My Name Is Earl, there's this blonde lady, and she's southern, a bit of hillbilly talk, hillbilly like voice and mannerisms. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say. And just at random points in this movie, she goes like, "Mr. J, I Harley Quinn here," and stuff like that. That was awful. That was really cringy. But you know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say, because I know I saw that they were doing reshoots to make it more jokey apparently, and that's just at random points her voice just goes from talking normally, has the mannerisms, but then like Mr. J, and talking like this, and goes a bit hillbilly southern on you, if those are the right words. But as for her performance as Harley Quinn, really good. And also because I grew up on a lot of DC things, the animated series, playing DC Universe Online, the Arkham games, the movies, stuff like that. Heck, Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. I grew up. That was an awesome I grew up on that Joker. I pretty much grew up on Mark Hamill's Joker due to watching my Volume 1 copy of Batman the Animated Series, playing the growing up on Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, and Batman Beyond my third Joker. Mark Hamill was pretty much whenever I think of the Joker, hear that voice. Even though like in the animated series, his voice was more high pitched, but then like in the darker stuff, he'd make his voice a bit more like growlier, if that's the right word. But that's kind of relevant, Joker. But if you're like a hardcore DC fan, and I know my fair share. Believe me, I have some comments up there that I have Batman Year One. I really want to get Batman: The Killing Joke, and potentially watch the movie, even from what I've heard. But there's like references to just like classic just things in Gotham, Ace Chemicals. That you see Harley Quinn wear her classic black and red outfit at one point, which I just adored, because I'm thinking, it's just like when I saw what her costume was going to look like, saying quite different. I mean, like, you can see a lot more of her legs now, but still she wears it at one point, which is nice. I'm not saying nice as in she's attractive, I mean nice as in, like, I get that reference and appreciate it, because that's, like, the classic Harley outfit right there. And, speaking of which, Harley Quinn's leg must be freezing at one point, because there's a point where it's raining, and instead of, like, feeling the emotions of the scene, I was like, wow, Harley Quinn, her legs must be freezing. Put a coat on, dear, you're gonna get a chill. I just turned into a mum, like, put a coat on, dear, it's gonna get cold. Like, no, it isn't, mum. Oh my god, it's so cold. I wish I wore a coat, but I don't wanna. I want to seem like the cooler person. Yeah, it's so hot out here. Oh my god, it's freezing. But those of you that can relate to that, and obviously for the males out there, yes, there's a point you can see her ass. Just saying. I mean, it's hard not to notice when she's like just walking off into the distance. Is there? I mean, like, a lot of people have asses, but you know, hers is more out there. I'm not saying it's like objectifying or anything at all, because Harley Quinn, like, she's a big focus of this movie and she kicks a lot of butt. Even though sometimes I don't think, I don't really think there's for what she's up against, she could do very much. But just saying. But for me, I think the best character, as in like adding the most humanity and the most detail and the most time put into, was Will Smith as Deadshot. And people say, oh, is Will Smith going to do his crack a joke Will Smith thing? But he was really good as like Deadshot. When watching the movie, I didn't really see Will Smith playing Deadshot. I think his character, yes, I was like, that's Will Smith playing Deadshot. But as for his actual character, he had a character. I mean, I wish he wore his white mask more, because that's a pretty cool mask. But his outfit, what he did, he was pretty darn cool. And he was. That's the thing. When I said to my dad, like, I'm going to see Suicide Squad, like, oh, isn't Will Smith in it? Who does he play? So, oh, he plays this guy called Deadshot. He can shoot stuff real good. That's how I can explain it. He shot stuff. He can shoot stuff real good. I'm saying, isn't that Hawkeye? No. Hawkeye uses the bow and arrow. If you mean like he's like Green Arrow, then sure. A bit like how the Flash could be like Quicksilver, because they both run fast. And he said, no, he just shoots stuff real good with guns. He said, oh, like Punisher or Bullseye, like. He's a different character, but sure. Don't hate on my dad, DC fans. Just admit that some characters from the Marvel Universe have the same abilities from the DC Universe. You have to admit that, okay? No matter, yes, some was created before others, so you can say he's ripping them off, but everyone loves Deadpool, and Deadpool's a rip-off of Deathstroke. Everyone knows that. At least I hope so. I've heard that many times. That's the thing that actually happened, like, purposely. But now I'm having fun with this. But speaking of Flash, for those of you who've seen the movie, I spoiled it. But it's not that bad. It's just there's so many things I just want to go like, okay, this are my thoughts on this and this and this, but that'll be spoilers. It's tempting to do a spoiler review, but I just want to put it all out on the table. I might go like at some point spoilers and just leave but sum up before I do that. But I think I could kind of hint, for those of you who've seen the movie, know what I'm talking about without actually saying it. But Will Smith as Deadshot, really, really good. My favourite scene is not his very first scene, but like a movie, like a background to how he got to where he is, and it involves a certain cameo by a certain superhero who's in this movie a few times. Probably one of like in my top 3 favourite scenes from this movie. I really liked that scene. I felt that's one of the scenes I felt the most emotion in, like the most feeling like, oh man, well that sucks. Oh, come on, he's a cool guy. I mean, he kills people, but come on. But it's Batman. Just watch the trailers. He's in the movie. I mean, they don't show in the trailers. You don't see his face straight, but there's a lot of time you just see his cape and him jump on the car and the cow, and you know Batman's in the movie. Okay, he's not in the movie a lot, mostly near the beginning. But it was really good to see him, and also it's pretty awesome because I really like this Batman using the deep voice I don't want to do this for your daughter. That was really bad, but maybe because I have a high pitched voice and I can't make it go that low. Moving on. Now, you could barely see this as it is, but this character, if you can't make that out, basically I can't remember the character's name, but the character that could climb real good. He got dreadlocks. If you were hoping this was that guy, the movie, you're going to be really disappointed. But I hope the actor enjoyed this paycheck for the amount of time he was in it. I couldn't even remember his name, and he barely got any lines. And I can't remember his name, but that's not really maybe that's not even spoiling it. So I'm just going to say the guy could climb real good. Those are my thoughts on him. I'm basically going my thoughts on this one, and this one. But I think the second character that got the most I don't know, a backstory and detail and real humanity put into him. I can't think of many words today, but El Diablo, I thought his his dialogue, his background, just the scenes with him, I thought were really, really good. And I think most of the movie he didn't participate so much, but he was really good for a guy who could just shoot fire. He was really good, and for what the Suicide Squad went up against, he was the most useful. Because I'm just going to say, yes, the Joker isn't the villain of the movie, but what is the villain of the movie is something I don't really think a squad made up of a crazy girl with a bat, a guy who could shoot stuff real good with guns, more precisely, a guy with a skin condition that eats people and looks like a crocodile, a human-like crocodile, a guy who can shoot boomerangs quite well, a chick with a sword, and a guy with fire, who shoot fire. I could basically do that with the Avengers. Guy could turn into green strong dude, and guy with shield, and that's kind of minimalizing it a bit simplistic. But I'm just saying, I don't really think for most of the squad's abilities, besides I don't know, El Diablo and maybe the Katana, I don't think their abilities are really good against the force, the villain of this movie, because I'm I was just thinking at one point how on earth most of you guys just have guns and baseball bats. I don't know how you're gonna beat this, but speaking of the finale, there's a point where it goes full on Hulk versus Abomination from the Incredible Hulk, a CGI fight. That was I could imagine okay, what do you want me to film? Just film the room, and we'll just animate. We'll just put in the CGI monsters fighting at the end, if you know what I mean. Make one of the monsters look a lot I don't know, a giant Ghost Rider, but without any of the leather. You DC fans must be so mad at me because I keep referencing Marvel things, but it's superhero things, and the first thing that come to my mind, okay, By the way, I recently watched Jeremy John's spoiler talk of Suicide Squad, and he pointed out how the Joker acts a bit like Jim Carrey at some point. He looks a bit like Jim Carrey as well, but I agree with that a bit. Because heck, Jim Carrey played the Riddler, and people say that was basically the Joker, so it kind of works. How did you... Jared Leto, how did you come up with this interpretation of the Joker? Oh, I watched Batman Forever. Oh man, that's really good. Oh yes, and I acted a bit kooky because I sent Margot Robbie a rat on the set. Wow! And apparently the director had the actors fight each other. Man, it's really bonding. Serious stuff, guys. Oh man, to get into the role of guy who can shoot stuff real good with guns, I beat the hell out of Margot Robbie and Jai Courtney. Jai Courtney, by the way, that's like a really... One of my favourite scenes in the movie is this bar scene where they're all just talking. And there's a point where it's meant to be really serious. It kind of knocks it off. Jai Courtney just comes in with with his like, "Good day, mate, Barbie on the beach," accent. But he was pretty much the comic relief, because he's Captain Boomerang, and I kind of wanted Deadshot to go like Captain, I don't know, like Captain Jack Sparrow, Captain America, but like Captain. But he's not a captain of America or a ship. He's the captain of boomerangs. I have a boomerang over there. No, seriously. Yes, he's the one that mostly cracks jokes, and he likes unicorns, which I found funny. But besides that, he didn't really help a lot. I mean, he helped in the fight scenes, but he helped at some points, but he's mostly there for the comic relief because his character is so ridiculous. So at least they, did that. At least they realised that. And also, speaking of, I'm just thinking, the colour palette of this movie is a lot better than Batman v Superman because they got the bright, colourful blue and red and yellow Superman costume. I almost said Batman for some odd reason. Superman costume, and they make it like a dark blue and a dark red and make it so gloomy and miserable. Pretty much the brightest and most, happiest, charismatic superheroes out there who just fight, who just help people because they can. I'm saying the opposite. I said Batman instead of Superman, and I'm saying fight instead of help. But they make all gloom and doom, doomsday. So bad. But here is a lot brighter, but not that bright. I mean, even during the daytime, and is it actually daytime? I mean, it's somewhat bright, but not completely bright. The color, the color palette is still died down a bit, but at least the red is still, I don't know, it's you can tell it's red. It's not so dark you think it's grey. I mean, you look at Harley Quinn and a blue and a red, and oh, it's grey. Oh no, now they just turned down the color palette and brightness. But no, you can tell what colors they are. Normally bright colors, but it's not insanely bright because they have to make the tone match with the color palette. I don't know, I don't think Scarface would be taken as seriously if I don't know Al Pacino was wearing bright yellow and pink. But then again, this movie has a character called Captain Boomerang, which I quite like. That's quite funny to me. But moving on. There was also another squad member. Squad goals. I'm surprised the advertiser of this movie didn't take advantage of that popular saying nowadays. Squad, the tagline was squad goals, but that would have been really cringy. Squad goals. Damn, Deadshot. Oh god. I hate this generation. Or way I'm a part of it. No. But the squad member of Enchantress, who looks like something out of The Grudge, and when I think of the Enchantress, I think of the Enchantress of from Avengers of Mighty Heroes, but this is a different Enchantress. This Enchantress, I really like her design. Even Jeremy John's references. There's Gollum, she's on the ground, she's all smoke is coming off her, and it's all grey and tribal stuff on her body, and it's really good. And especially it's like a Bruce Banner whole Jekyll and Hyde type of thing. Like she says Enchantress, then she turns into the Enchantress. But it's not like she gets angry. She could literally just say it anytime she wants. but the first time, like, we see her change into the Enchantress, like, because because they're two different people, because she possesses a body. Like, it's really good. I really like the way they did that transformation. Like, it's really, really excellent. And but them advertising as her they advertised like she was a part of the squad. How it turns out with her is quite different and very, like, this movie is very messy. This movie is quite messy. I mean, like, plot wise is very messy and just a bit all over the place at times. Like, character wise is pretty good. It got some excellent moments. It got some moments like, okay, that doesn't exactly work. I think the excellent moments and that was good outweighed the awful moments, but there's some not very good moments here. But like the villain and like the finale with the beam in the sky, like every other bloody movie, and I literally seen Ghostbusters, and that happened, and that is happening in everyone now. We're gonna see, like, I don't know, we're gonna see the next Pixar movie, the beam in the sky. It reminds me of Fantastic Fan 4 Stick, but it wasn't. I don't think it was as messy and shambled and absolutely abysmal as how they did it there. This is no Fan 4 Stick. Let me just emphasise that. You could just just quote me on this. I'll summarising my thoughts. No Fan 4 Stick, but just way better than that. I'm just gonna say. But here the finale and the villain is a bit in shambles. I hate they reference another Marvel thing because people go like, oh, of course you're going to reference it to Marvel. I'm just saying, the best example I can think of is Guardians of the Galaxy. Those were characters that barely anyone knew, never introduced before, like in film, and he introduced it, and it did really, really well, quite excellently in fact, and everyone loved it. Another similarity to Guardians of the Galaxy that one of the things people mostly remembered, and they kind of capitalised that in the advertising, is the soundtrack, using a lot of like classic 80s and 70s tracks. And I think this movie is kind of like going to be known for its soundtrack, because this movie has a really awesome soundtrack. Some of the songs aren't really put in the right place and doesn't really mix well, but the songs they use in this movie I think are really, really good. So both of those movies have really good soundtracks because they picked some quite good songs. One of them has Queen, A+, just for that. This movie is the best movie ever now because it has Queen. Just gonna say that. But here there's so many characters. Look at these characters. In Guardians, it was Groot, Rocket Raccoon, Star-Lord, Drax, Gamora. That was our team. There was a bunch of other supporting side characters and the villain. The villain wasn't even done that well there, but here there's a lot of characters here. I'm just gonna say, not even the squad members, but also like other characters. There's quite a few characters here, and the way they try to add backstory and character and personality and detail and growth to every single one doesn't really work very well. For some, yes, like Deadshot, Harley Quinn, El Diablo, but as for the others, not very well. Is mainly them. Kind of reminds me when I saw Star Trek Beyond, a really great movie in my opinion. If you wanted the Chekhov show, you wouldn't have really got it so much. But here, if you wanted the Killer Croc show, not so much. And Killer Croc, by the way, the makeup on him, amazing. I wish they went in more detail of him, because that's just from watching Batman the Animated Series, that's a really sympathetic backstory, and also I really love his origin, like, not just like a mutation or experiment gone wrong, he was born like that. Born this way, yep. Jason Bourne. Borny Bourne. But moving on. But yes, okay. Okay, I'm gonna sum up now. I'm still having trouble pinpointing my thoughts on this. There's parts that aren't very good. There's parts that's alright. There's parts that's really great. But the plot and the finale is shambled together, is messy, there's some obvious points where they reshoot it because there's a lot of scenes and shots in the trailer that I'm like, okay, that's not here. There's even like, you know, the bit like the bar bit at the end of like trailer 2 or something. That main joke isn't here. Sorry, but but for what they do is better. Is better. I mean, like, I thought Man of Steel was pretty good, but Batman v Superman I thought was not very good at all. This, I'm not going to say awful, but between like mediocre or less than average up to actually really, really good. It's better. I think, yeah, best of the DC cinematic universe so far. And as a big fan of the Joker and Harley Quinn, and like, you know, because of all the Batman stuff I grew up on, I'm a big fan of like Harley Quinn and Joker's relationship and origin. Because normally one night I just watched a bunch of clips from like animated stuff of like the Joker and Harley's relationship because I just find it really interesting, and the backstory of like Batman. Why do I keep saying Batman? Joker and Harley, like their origin, how then Joker starting to feel for her. I wish they made a movie about that. Chris Stuckman even said this. These are all movie reviews. Every time I say like Jeremy Johns or Chris Stuckman, that would have been a pretty awesome movie, like a psychological thriller of like this like some sort like this just innocent girl just falling for this maniac, and it would have been quite interesting. But from what I saw, those were really awesome scenes, and yeah, I watched a few reviews. So I'm just thinking, still sinking in. But I think I made up my mind, and it's between less than average to mediocre to really good. But I got to say 7.5 out of 10. This review has been all over the place. Yes, it's been like, oh, this hasn't been good, this has been really great, this has been alright. But that's how it is, because it's hard to balance it. This movie is struggling to balance itself. But is what my thoughts on it mostly positive? Yes. And did I have fun? For the most part, yes. There was a lot of parts like, okay, this is fun, I'm liking this is good. So like it's pretty much like these really interesting new interpretations of these comic book characters, and also seeing like these characters that are really beloved, and these characters that put a lot of growth and detail in, and you really like some of these characters, and some scenes and some song choices and some cool action scenes and some like stuff that makes you geek out, like the Joker and Harley backstory for me, and stuff about Deadshot makes him really sympathetic, and I just straight up like that. Even though there's a lot of superheroes like I want to save my daughter, and like a bit like Sandman and Spider-Man 3. Yes, there's been so many superhero movies and media nowadays that yes, you go like, well, that's like that. They ripped off from that. There's been so many superhero stuff now that yes, there's going to be points where you're like, well, yeah, that's similar to this superhero thing, but I'm talking about this movie I've seen, and yes, I'm like, oh, that's similar to that, but you know, that's a given. But then I think of like the rushed finale and the plot not being good and it trying to balance itself out, and some characters barely being given any backstory or personality whatsoever and just being given like one thing. Like eventually it just becomes like horde mode, like all the characters are just basically fighting Chitauri or like the androids from like I don't know, the prequels, just like endless amounts of the same enemy over and over again for them to horde down or just shoot. By the way, the bit with like Deadshot and with those like hordes big zombies was possibly the best like action part, because you know that was pretty cool. But for the actual thing they're up against, for the most part, is a bunch of like zombies. I'm gonna call them zombies. Like the finale basically just becomes that, you know, generic cliche big superhero blockbuster part, you know, at the end of the film where they, yes, with the giant beam in the sky, but they they don't really necessarily fight hordes of enemies, but you know they have to all work together to fight this big, I don't know, CGI creature, or like this one one particular enemy who's linked to the squad in a certain way. And yeah, but I mean, like, at the beginning of the film, like the backstory and of like some of the squad is introduced very well. I really like how they like introduce some of these squad members, and also their backstory and like why they're in prison. But for some others that join later, they don't really put that much effort in. Some that like are there from the start. They don't put that much effort into saying like why are they like this and stuff like that. But I like that part, and and yes, and like in some of the trailers when they go like Harley Quinn, nutty abilities, this and this and this, they actually kind of use that in when they're saying this backstory. And still, I really like the font. It's a bit like in the trailer, like Suicide Squad. It's all like colourful. In the credits, like they're like for each chapter, a bit like an Avengers movie, which because there's been films for each of those characters, you know them straight off the bat. That Avengers movie here, pretty much all of them, actually no, all of them in fact, are in even the Joker, but it's a different Joker, is introduced for the first time. For some of the characters, yeah, some no. I would point out, but for some I'm uncertain. Like, well, yeah, we barely know anything, but yeah, I'll give it a pass. But for here, for like the credits, they say like Jared Leto, and then behind them got like I don't know what cards and stuff. Also, a little random side note, I should mention the pacing, because to be honest, there were times in this movie, normally towards the end or maybe even the middle, I could feel a bit slow. Like come on, pick up the pace, and like not for like character reasons, that it just feels a bit slow at some moments. And yes, this movie's had cliches of other superhero movies that but it also got on cliches of like movies in general. It even got a liar revealed type cliche. That cliche from like A Bug's Life. Now, there's always going to be movies that I still think are great, and like, well, yes, this is like this from this movie, and this has a cliche from this movie because it's from the same genre. But that's a given. I'm not going to lower it because I know it has something similar to another superhero movie or anything like that, because I feel that's cheap. Because this movie's not cliche. It is quite a unique movie with a very unique premise. But I'm talking about the movie itself. From what I saw, it's a bit like, yes, I recognise what Ghostbusters was, but from what I saw, I still enjoyed it. Hopefully that is understandable, because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, because I don't want to disappoint my fellow superhero geeks who, I don't know, there'll be two of them, and maybe like they'll both feel the same. One of them hates it, one of them likes it, or because of what I've heard, this movie is reception, woohoo. And quickly back to Amanda Waller, like many people are pointing out, mainly in the spoiler part, but there's something that she does that just completely, there's no point to it, and a bit overboard, and a bit, I don't know, heavy-handed due to reasoning, and also hypocritical when another character goes like, alright, that's called for. If you watch it, it's to do with her to make it easier. But yeah, just I thought I would also say that I don't really want to do a spoiler video. I like to do it like just this long amount of time to do with it, pretty much spoiler free, and then I move on. So yeah, I don't want to milk it. I don't want to milk the 2p I make off each video. I'm joking. I make no money. Zero. Neat. Nilt? Yes, nil. It's a football game now. And heck, some of these characters I've never heard of or know the backstory at all. Like, have I heard of that climbing dude before? No. Did I know anything about Katana? No. I knew for like Harley and Joker and like Amanda Waller, yes, I knew my fair share. I knew quite a lot, but for like Enchantress, Katana, barely a thing. I'm so sorry. I just ripped my nerd card away. I'm so sorry. I should have, but oh yeah, Katana. I like her look, and like she doesn't do a lot. She doesn't say a lot. She mostly speaks another language with subtitles, even though sometimes she speaks English, which is a bit confusing because she talks to people who speak English, but she still speaks Japanese. I like her power, and she was like that guy with the sword from the Metal Gear Rising. Almost got the Metal Gear Solid fans really mad as well. I'm ticking everyone off, but yeah. I'm DC. I know you're not having the best time at the moment. I mean, like, a lot of people don't like the Killing Joke for it being sexist, apparently being sexist to Batgirl, and also people not really liking it all that much. And I know the thoughts on Batman v Superman is still fresh in people's mind, and now the very divided thoughts on this movie and how it's going to tear the internet apart with people going it's good and it's bad, and oh, this part is genius and this part is not. But just know that I think you're on your way with this. There's a lot of really, really good things here. I'm not saying that I like the Marvel films, but like I know so like a lot of DC things. This is just me as a passionate comic book superhero nerd here. What a lot of what I saw here was really, really good. My thoughts on this is positive, okay? In terms of adding humour and making it brighter, while, making it still very different from what Marvel was doing, and not just Batman v Superman where it's like pretty much all doom and gloom and maybe 2 attempts at humour. This is good, okay? I'm not hating on it whatsoever. You are like 100 yards. So when people go like, oh, Batman v Superman was crap, but at least Suicide Squad looks good. This is not me going, well, there's no hope for DC now. Suicide Squad is crap. No, this is me going like, my thoughts are a bit scattered, but for the most part, is positive thoughts. Yes, there's a lot of negative thoughts here, but positive thoughts, because those negative thoughts do add a lot. But not only are you on your way, but you improved a lot, and I think you did good on feedback here. Yes, a lot of people are against you, but don't worry. I'm like looking down at you like, don't worry, kid, you're on your way. You're on your way. You're doing good. That was good. There was a lot of good stuff there. You're good. You're good, mate. Just improve on your grades, and maybe we'll get you into a good college. Good. I don't know where I'm going with this. I can imagine most of you saying yes. We don't either, Luke. Like, literally, what are you doing with your life? I hate you. You're a terrible person. Which I react like, okay, just a bit over the top, possibly, but feedback is feedback. You've been watching Deano Reviews, now the screen watching like you. That was terrible. But still, the ending of that laugh is like gasping for air. I got asthma. I need to breathe. But cheerio. Well, there goes another movie that a lot of people was hyped for and thought would be something different and never seen before, and one of the best things ever in history. And for the most part, is like some disappointed to some loving it and some alright. Here's to the next one, because this is normally how it goes. I mean, that was Batman v Superman, and now there's this one. I'm not going to say every single one's going to be DC, but here's to the next movie that a lot of people's going to be hyped for by the trailers or how it looks, and then it turns out to be or awful. I mean, that's how it works. Can't. It's going to be. Bit of a Debbie Downer, aren't I? Sorry. Also really disappointed that they didn't have Will Smith do the theme for the film, a bit like how for Men in Black he did that rap sample Men in Black song, but instead because Will Smith is a rapper, they could have had him do the title track for this movie. Here comes Suicide Squad. Someone make a parody of that, and just get that song, parody it, make it for Suicide Squad. That would have been really good. Have the whole music video. And, yeah. Anywho, well, again, cheerio.